Imagine if someone did that now. We have a great tradition of freedom of the press in this country, unpopular press. If the First Lady is concerned about this internet cycle, what would she have done during the heyday when there was 12, 13 editions of a paper in one day? What would she have done with that news cycle? That's the foundation. That's what makes this club great, is the tradition. And I think we have a tradition of provocative press. And that I maintain that I'm the new face on that. I'll take that for a season. But a lot of the stuff I do is serious stuff. I was first to report that the encryption was missing from a Loral satellite, for example, a couple weeks ago. I didn't see the main press reporting that one. So not everything I do is gossip or bedroom. To the contrary, I think that's just an easy label to dismiss me and to dismiss the new medium. But I'm excited about the launch of this internet medium, and again, the freedom of the press belongs to anyone who owns one.
How much do you embroider or make up in your online items?
Now, which person here asked that question? No one's raising their hand. None. Everything I print from my apartment, everything I publish, I believe to be true and accurate. I put my name on every single thing I write. No Periscope here, no Washington Whispers here. I put my name on it, I'll answer to anything I write. I'll make mistakes, I'll retract them if I have to, apologize for, try to make it right. But as I've pointed out, the main organizations in this country have let us down every once in a while and end up in trouble with editors. So I don't maintain that editor is salvation. There won't be editors in the future with the internet world, with a citizen reporting, just by the nature of it. That doesn't scare me. There's a notion that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will kill me. I don't believe it. I get maligned every day on the news groups. I'm still standing. I still have a smile on my face. It's just the nature of this new thing. I mean, if I get defamed from Egypt, what do? Do I go to the World Trade Organization and ask for a relief? This is the world we're going to be facing shortly. And I don't know exactly what the courts are going to do with this dynamic. I'm not too anxious about it, however.
Aren't you coarsening the public discourse?
I hope not. You know, these questions are pretty tough. And I think if you directed this type of tough questioning to the White House, there would be no need for someone like me, quite frankly. I have fun with what I do. A lot of it's smiles. A lot of it's, look, Ma, I can dance. A lot of it's preempting other newspapers. I cover politicians the way I cover media people the way they cover politicians. I'm reporting Jeff Girth may be breaking something in a couple of weeks, for example. That's fun stuff. That's a new paradigm. It's where the media is on check. It's where they're not the only game in town. Where the media now is a guy with a 486 out in Hollywood. How did a story like Monica Lewinsky break out of a Hollywood apartment? What does that say about the Washington Press Corps? It just baffles me. I haven't come up with answers on that.
I think Monica Lewinsky was from Hollywood, wasn't she? Yeah. How many sources do you require before posting an item?
Well, a little more than Bob Woodward's Deep Throat from time to time. Sometimes I'll go with one person. The Loral worker who came forward and told me the encryption was missing from the satellite. The biggest nightmare scenario for defense types. I went with that one. I thought that was pretty solid. The guy seemed sincere. What I do is a formula where I follow my conscience. And this is upsetting to some people. But I maintain the conscience is going to be the only thing between us and the communication in the future. Now, And I'm very happy with my conscience. If you're looking at me and thinking about the Blumenthal case, I retracted that story within 24 hours. Even though he was demanding sources, I apologized for it in the pages of the Washington Post. Called the apology drivel. This from the White House advisor. And, you know, I woke up to a very strange headline. Clinton Gore approved of filing libel suit. It's the first time in American history that a sitting president of the United States has approved a civil action against a reporter. In our history. Well, I guess they locked some people up before we were founded. There's a room down the hall dedicated to that spirit. But this is something new, and as we go, I think I'll prove White House resources have been used to fight this litigation. Joe Lockhart, the deputy press secretary, admitted he called USA Today from the White House press office to complain about an op-ed that was favorable to me. Tax dollars at work?
How many leaked stories do you get from mainstream journalists, and would you speculate on their motivation?
That's a good question, because what I've been doing lately is breaking news that's about to be broken, coverage of the coverage of the coverage. But that's where we are, since the media is so powerful. The media is comparable to government, probably passes government in raw power. A lot of the stories are internal. They leak it to me wanting to get attention, wanting to get that headline. More times than not, I will not give it to them. It has to raise my whiskers. It has to be a good headline. I'm a sucker for a good story. I go where the stink is. I'm a partisan for news. If you got a story, I'll be listening outside when we're done.
Well, you've got your hat on, and you seem to emulate in your dress and advocate in your presentation the good old days of the tabloids of the 20s and 30s. But does populism equal consistently good journalism?
I'll have to ask Tom Brokaw that. I don't necessarily think a populism means you're out defaming people left and right. A populism press is a press that cares about the country. Most of my sources are concerned citizens in and out of government who don't like the direction of the White House press office, for example. Or, quite frankly, a lot of the people on the Hill aren't quite forthcoming answering questions. I reported a great story about a website that had been set up, had been registered. Friends of Al Gore, PAC. The billing address they used for this PAC was 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Someone had registered a political action committee from the White House using it as a billing address. This is a huge story. I had it exclusively. I guess mainstream press don't know how to work the internet and get the information. This is an example of a populist press. It's very concerning. That, to me, was violating quite a few laws. They said someone in the office had set it up and they were told to bring it down, and it wasn't bring it down. They changed the address eventually. I looked up the address. It was a graveyard in Denver. That's a populist press to me.
Matt, what types of stories would fall into the category that you would not publish?
There's quite a few stories I don't publish that come my way. For instance, specific descriptions on these Lewinsky tapes of the presidential anatomy, I'm not reporting. I've had it. I've held it back. This, to me, can pose quite an interesting dilemma on a world stage, quite frankly. That is an example that I don't think furthers the story. That Phil Hartman may have met his wife through a prostitute doesn't necessarily interest me. I'm an advocate. I love public policy. Those are the type of stories that get me typing. I also like to have fun. I like to do ratings and box office just to show that it's not really about the product. It's more fun to talk about Godzilla than to watch it, for